Well, UFC 302 has ended. I went 10-2 on the card, not bad, but I was 10-0 until the co-main event. So yeah, I did screw up Costa and Dustin Poirier. I did predict Dustin Poirier to knock out Makhachev. I knew he would be able to hang with him on the feet, and I knew he wouldn't get finished too early. So I knew Poirier would have a lot of chances to sort of fluke a KO. And I did think he was going to fluke a KO. So that's the prediction that I had made for that fight. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Poirier ended up getting finished in the 5th round. And apart from that, I think, yeah, I saw rewatched the 2nd round. Extremely close. I might have to rewatch it again after this one, to be honest. But what I think right now is that Makhachev won 3 rounds. Dustin won the 4th round. Even though that knee in the 2nd round didn't even land, it just went past. And everyone was like, whoa, good knee by Makhachev. But that didn't even land. But he still outlanded him, I think. I'll have to rewatch it again. But either ways, the judges had already made their decision 3-1. One of the judges gave round 4 to Makhachev, which was weird. But the judges in this card were insane, to say the least. I did get the first thumbnail that I made on this fight pretty accurate though, like if you see it right here. But man, Islam proved himself on the feet though, like he already did with Volk. But his stand-up with the threat of the takedown combined, it's just so crisp, man. And he could outstrike pretty much anyone. I think Chandler could give him problems. I'm going to be honest. I think out of everyone, I think Chandler could be the one giving him problems on the feet. But man, Poirier exceeded everyone's expectations, dude. He even exceeded mine, even though I picked him to win this fight and he lost the fight. But he still exceeded everyone's expectations. Like, what a G, man. You could also tell that he learned a lot from that Khabib fight. Makhachev was doing a lot of the same things that Khabib was doing in the clinch work, and Poirier was defending it much better than he did against Khabib. Now, that could also mean that Khabib is better, but I just don't see it. Khabib was pressuring a lot more, but yeah, I think Poirier definitely improved on his takedown defense and all of that stuff skills a lot in the past. I think that was 5 years ago now. Also the head clash, man, that broke Dustin's nose. I really wonder how he would have done if that didn't end up happening. I don't know if that slowed him down or not. It's possible that he could have, because he loves fighting in those later rounds of the fight, we all know that. And as for the whole controversy with Islam's staph infection, I do not think it was staph infection after watching the fight, because he did go at a very similar pace that he did to against Volkanovski. And he got tired at a very similar rate compared to that fight. But dude, Dustin wasn't able to hurt Makhachev like Volk did in that first fight. I expected, if it was going to last this long, I expected Poirier to do more damage than Volk was able to. But Volk's just a beast on his own realm, you get what I'm saying? But you gotta say, man, after this fight, Makhachev's whole mystique has just kind of gotten destroyed, because everyone expected Poirier to sort of be an easy win. Like, if you just look at everyone's predictions, it's like, oh, easy Makhachev. Like, there's no doubt in my head it's Makhachev. And then there's a few morons who picked Dustin Poirier to win this fight. Like, what losers, right, guys? But yeah, that's one of the fun things about watching, like, Makhachev and Chimaev and all these people's fights, is because of how superhuman they sort of give this aura, this extremely intimidating aura. But that's kind of gotten demolished a little bit. Makhachev did look very beatable in this fight, and honestly Poirier could have won this if he went the distance, knowing how the judges were in this one. If he just had like a couple extra punches in one of the rounds, like, I mean, obviously I'm coping at this point like hard, but should Poirier retire? I don't know, man. He's gonna have a long talk with his family or whatever. They've apparently already told him to retire, but he wants to keep going, and I think he is going to keep going. I don't think he's going to call it. And Volkanovski has called out Dustin Poirier. He said much respect, but Volk kind of doesn't want to sit out and wait for the rematch, because Poirier is going to fight Max Holloway, and Volk doesn't want to sit out for that long because he's kind of addicted to the sport. Yeah, but after all of this, after the fight ended, post-fight Octagon interview, Makhachev did call out the welterweight champion. So that's either going to be Leon Edwards or Belal Muhammad. So let's talk about some of these matchups, man, because there's a lot of options now for Islam. Now in that welterweight title fight against Leon and Belal, which is in a couple months, I think. I do think Leon is going to get the better of Belal Muhammad. I think he's going to defend the takedowns, and I think he's just going to outstrike him. Quite simply, that's just a very basic way of saying it, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think Leon's going to win. So Leon versus Makhachev, how do I think it's going to go? Well, let's just start off by saying this, man. Leon Edwards is a real welterweight. He's a huge guy for the welterweight division, man. Like, he could honestly settle at middleweight. Like, he's that big. Whereas Dustin Poirier, like, the OGs will know that, like, he's a featherweight. He came up from featherweight. So he has that sort of frame where he can fit in the featherweight division. Leon Edwards is never make. He's not even gonna make lightweight. He's gonna have to like cut off a limb or some shit to make lightweight. And also when it comes to the takedowns and all of that, like Leon defended Usman's takedowns and I think Usman just destroys Makhachev. I think Usman outstrikes him. I think he defends the takedowns. Makhachev might get a takedown here and there, but I think Usman's going to be straight back up. And Leon just made him look easy. You know, so I'm going to have to go heavy with Leon in that fight. The next option that's there is Arman Tsarukyan, the guy in the same division. Yeah, I do not think Islam should move up. I think he should fight Arman first because Arman is a deserving contender in this division. They already had a fight back in like 2015, I think, not 15, it's not 15. I don't know, it was a long time ago, but Arman was a little kid back then, man. He was like a 21-year-old, I think. And they were still pretty even on the fight. And I don't think Islam has improved a lot since then, but Arman has improved heaps. Like his striking has improved a significant amount from then. Even his takedowns and everything, his explosivity, it's just amazing. I think Arman can be champion of this division. I think Arman does beat Makhachev as well. Another option, this is like probably the third most likely, is Belal Muhammad. If he beats Leon Edwards, which I doubt. But yeah, man, Belal Muhammad, he's not exceptional anywhere, but he's sort of good everywhere. He's a very well-rounded fighter, which I think favors Makhachev a lot, because Makhachev is a well-rounded fighter as well, but he is pretty good in the striking and he is pretty good in the grappling. So that's going to be a very difficult fight for Belal Muhammad. Even though he does have the size, I think Makhachev does get it done, and I think Makhachev does become the welterweight champion, dual champion for Makhachev, and yeah, it is what it is with Belal. Honestly, if that fight happens, I will be rooting for Makhachev for the first time in his career, probably. And then there's a few matchups that are just interesting. I doubt they'll make them because of the whole ranking situation, but there's Matthias Gamrot, who's down the rankings a little bit. Gamrot is huge for the division, man. We talk about how Makhachev is a weight bully and all that, but Gamrot is huge as well. I think he's bigger than Makhachev. If you compare them side by side, you weigh them in the octagon, I think Gamrot might weigh a little bit extra than over Makhachev. Like Poirier looked small in front of Makhachev in this fight. But apart from that, I think Gamrot is a better grappler. He's a better wrestler. Like he's much better on the ground. Oh, not much better. That's a stretch. He's enough better on the ground over Makhachev, where he would be able to get the dominant positions. I think what would end up happening in that fight is the grappling will sort of just be neutralized. It will be a stand-up war, and Gamrot's not that good on the feet. I just have to be honest. He has like a good sort of striking that's enough to pressure the opponent so that he can get the takedowns. But if it's just a pure striking match, I think Makhachev beats Gamrot like 9.5 times out of 10. However, we've seen Makhachev in the striking against almost every opponent who's extremely scared of the takedowns. That's why he was able to have a lot of success on the feet. Gamrot won't give a shit about the takedowns. He's going to just be on the feet there waiting for Makhachev to shoot, or he might shoot himself. You get what I'm saying? So who knows? Maybe they'll be like equal on the feet. I don't know. We'll have to see in that fight. That's a fight I would really love to see, man. Then a lot of people have been saying, oh, you got to get Max Holloway. Obviously, these are the MMA casuals that are sort of like doing MMA math. They're like, oh, Gaethje destroyed Poirier, and then Max Holloway destroyed Gaethje. So they're putting two and two together, and then they're like sort of like Max Holloway versus Islam Makhachev. Listen, man, the reality is Yair Rodriguez was taking Max Holloway down. There's no chance Max Holloway is defending these takedowns. If he gets taken down, I think he gets finished in the first round. I'm just going to say it as it is. I love Max Holloway, but he's getting finished in that first round. You got to keep it real. But again, he's training for Yair. If he has like a full training camp dedicated to wrestling, who knows, man? Maybe Max Holloway is the GOAT of the sport. Maybe he's the pound for pound champ. I don't know, but yeah, I highly doubt it. I think Makhachev will ragdoll Max Holloway. But yeah, these are some interesting matchups that are possible in, or not in the division, but like for Makhachev in general. Do I think he gets double champ status eventually? It's hard to say, man. I don't know, it's really hard to say, because I do think he loses to Leon. And I think that's after a fight with Arman. So he's going to have to get through Arman first before he moves up. And I think Arman beats him. I'm just going to say it as it is. So I do not think Islam Makhachev is going to ever get the double champ status. And these Dagestanis kind of quit the sport early anyways. I don't think Makhachev's going to stay in the sport enough. He's probably going to retire at like 34, which is in about 2 years. I don't think it's going to be enough time for him to climb back up the ladder. But anyways, man, disappointing card. I screwed up the co-main and the main, but man, Poirier, hey, you got to give me some credit on that. Poirier did much better than any of y'all expected. And Costa, man, I expected him to get a fluke KO as well. I predicted the top 2 fights to sort of be fluke KOs, but I did predict a lot of underdogs in this card. So give me some props for that, man. Give me some props. I'm the god of this. Now we just gotta wait for the next card, the Saudi Arabia card, is it? The Whittaker Chimaev one. Yeah, that oil money really helped build a fight night into something better than most pay-per-views that we see, which and I'm extremely excited for that, man. So anyways, see you guys, man, for the next video. What will the topic be? I don't know. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below, but I'm not expecting anyone to see this video anyways, so see you.